This place is a maze. Where the heck am I now? Holy, that thing's bigger than Long Island and it doesn't look too friendly. The sensor array has a shield around it. I'll have to take out the shield generators first.
Well, we're in the penultimate boss, believe it or not. There's only, what? 1, 2, 3, 4 levels? This is the 4th one, so... And this is a boss one. And as you can tell, the scale's pretty big. Yep, that's definitely no ordinary mech. That is what you would call a Metal Gear. But enough of that. You gotta destroy these generators for some reason. I have no idea what they would do other than protect that little cerebral part of the mech. I don't know why it has such a glaring weak spot, but it does. Anyway, the best strategy is to just use impact webbing to get rid of the generators. And of course, you're gonna be hounded by a lot of Oscorp robots. The light mechs make a return to basically make this even more annoying. Luckily, they do not feature anything that makes them as annoying as they were in, say, Race Against Time. So they can't instantly clear your health out in less than a second or so. That's the job of this mech here, the super mech, I believe. It has a rail cannon that can easily just eliminate your health. If I were to get hit right now with that rail cannon in the health that I have now, it would basically kill me just straight away. That's a lot of damage it does. And of course, even the top of this robot has a whole bunch of defenses of its own. Turrets everywhere. So yeah. And if you're wondering why this exists, well, I don't know. There's a whole lot of things that exist in this that Oscorp's doing, and all we know they're doing is because they are. They have a weapons division. I don't know. But logically, you would think that at this point, this thing's probably have been in development long before Green Goblin existed, so this meant that Norman agreed to a project that created essentially Metal Gear. At least it doesn't launch the nukes, but I wouldn't be surprised if it had such a feature. But yep, this thing's big and mean. And it can be ridiculously long if you basically have trouble doing this. But it's pretty straightforward at least. And of course, don't do what I'm doing here. There's a reason you use the impact webbing strategy. So anyway, at least here on superhero mode, pickups do respawn, unlike, say Spike. But, oh yeah, and they also introduced the new blue pickup. While normally, pretty much everywhere else, there's these other different blue pickups. Here now there's a very different one that completely fills up your webbing, and you even plays a different sound and everything, and it's only meant for this level. So yeah.
That's the last generator. Now for that sensor array.
Once that's taken care of, the brain is now exposed. And by the way, you have a limited time to do this. Take too long and the generator comes just fix themselves automatically. And the brain's protected again. And that means you gotta do everything all over again. But that's not the case now.
Uh-oh, it's going critical. That was too close. That hole should be my ticket out of here. Now to find Osborn's office and get out of this crazy place.
Well, that was essentially the penultimate boss, so yeah, we are really close to the end here.
Jane. Goblin! No!
Standard search and destroy pattern. Find the intruder and neutralize with extreme prejudice.
I don't know how they figured out about MJ, but I have to get to her before Goblin does. I should be able to get back out the same way I got in, and only a couple zillion heavily armed androids between me and it. No prob.
So in this level, well, first off, you'd find Haymaker here if you missed it in the Craven level. I believe it's also in some other level, but I don't remember.
Huh, that looks like a security console. Maybe I can use it to shut off some of the defenses on this floor.
And yep, you can use this to disable turrets, basically.
Those guns won't give me any trouble. Now I just need to find a way through that laser wall.
Or not.
Energy field over that door is gone.
As you tell, I just bypassed a lot of things. This is nowhere near as hard as any of the other stuff levels. I mean, you just do this, and you're done. Oh, and like I said, they were only buffed in the stealth levels. They are pretty weak here now.
Oh, it's like a surprise party.
And that's it for Oscorp. What a level to end a note on, huh? Yeah, it's pretty anticlimactic for what can you do.
What a day. What the?
Tough day at the office, huh? Mine is a killer. Put your heart into those screams, my lovely girl, the better to bait my trap.
Too late. Don't worry, Mary Jane. I'm coming.
Yep, here's our final chase level. It is way harder than the Vulture one, because here you cannot screw up too much. Except clearly I don't put in failure takes here. So you're only going to see the good stuff. Which means if I make any mistake, you can tell those are not the most fatal mistakes. But anyway, yeah. It's pretty much a lot of the same for Vulture. You just get... Only now it's Goblin. Pumpkin bombs and all.
Oh, you're falling behind.
I've got to go faster.
And these weird, whatever those are. They never explain everything, I guess, but... That's probably one thing I would like to know is how he makes bombs to just suspend themselves in the air. But he does. That's all I need to know.
If you weren't in armor, I'd break your teeth!
That's not very ladylike. This is where your
Help me!
ideals of
Spider-Man!
This is between you and me, Goblin. Leave her out of it.
So already we're kind of getting to a close here. These levels are pretty short. But, yeah.
Hurry up! I think I'm slipping.
Help me! Spider-Man!
We're almost there, hero. Let's finally settle our feud.
Just put her down safely and then we'll see how tough you really are.
And that's it for that. Now we're gonna have the show off at the bridge level.
Put me down, you jerk! Help!
Quiet, girlie. Come on, brother. Let's do this.
So the one thing you want to do here is first wait for Goblin, because if you go in too early, he might attack Mary Jane. And if he actually does that, it's game over. She dies.
Thanks!
Find somewhere safe to hide. I'll take care of Green and Gruesome.
So now this is pretty much the same of whatever that the other level is supposed to be said. I can't exactly say what that's supposed to be. But anyway, yeah. He's much of the same. But the difference is here is he has some extra moves. When you finally ground him, he basically now uses glider against you. It won't just be in the background in the city. Either it probably despawns or something. But it actually does something in the battle. It aids him. Not to mention, besides all the combat moves you can do, he also has the ability to use extra gadgets now to make things harder. But otherwise, he's much of the same here. You can still get on his glider and hurt him. In fact, it deals direct damage to his actual health instead of the glider. So yeah, the other thing is that he has less health than previously, and that's not just because I just eliminated most of it by going on his glider. Yeah, he has basically less health. You can easily just on normal mode, I believe you can just get Haymaker, Advanced Web Gloves. You can punch him out. Just do it 2 times and you win. That is not the case for the previous Goblin fight, so they definitely nerfed him for this one. But that doesn't stop him from being annoying. And that's one example of his new move, is whatever that was, a bomb pumpkin thing that just he releases a shockwave and he gets back on his glider. Of course, you're not limited to just the bridge, you can go down here. But word of warning, do not touch the water. Spidey is still basically very much afraid of water, as he is in every other game. So if you go in the water, you die instantly at start over. Oh yeah, once you deal enough damage to Goblin, he basically destroys parts of the bridge. These don't get reflected later on, but don't worry about it. It adds a certain flair to it, I guess you could say. Otherwise, yep, you've pretty much seen all there is to it already. But at least William Dafoe doesn't, screw around with his job here. He is still very good at voicing Goblin here. Oh yeah, and I believe once you deal enough damage here, he automatically disembarks his glider despite the blue bar being not empty. Yeah, that's shown here. Anyway, we're about to close for an end.
I'm sick of your ugly fate. Mr. Osborn, why?
Surprised? Yes, I suppose you would be. But the best surprise is still to come. Oh. Tell Harry I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too. Mary Jane, there's something I have to tell you.
I know, Tiger. You don't have to say.
That's my life. Complicated. Looks like you're done now. Go outside and play.
Yep, that's it for Spidey. This entire gameplay's, engine, really. There's only one more game that would use it, but it's Spider-Man 2 on the PSP. I don't exactly own that. So, this is pretty much it for Spider-Man for a really long while on my channel. Maybe a few bonus videos here and there, but otherwise that's pretty much it. This is the last game to use the Neversoft gameplay style besides the PSP Spider-Man 2 game, which was, by the way, a launch title, so yeah. But it's not too special considering you know what the next game is. Spider-Man 2 on consoles is a very, very special game for everybody, including myself. And it isn't everywhere else. And if you've seen what it's like on, well, everywhere else besides consoles, it's not very impressive. But enough about that. That'll be saved for whenever I do that, which won't be next time. Anyway, Spider-Man, this game. It's a very nice, you know, evolution for the gameplay style we've been introduced since 2000's Spider-Man game. More combat moves, albeit there's too many that you won't be using unless you're basically about as skilled as a fighting game expert. And even then, I don't think that'll help you. But the levels are at least nice, but I don't think they can top Spider-Man, the original. But it's still better than the, you know, sequel game Inter Electro. At least here the levels at least give some purpose and feel more fleshed out. More, you know, concepts that are nice to see. Not to mention, at least they don't introduce certain mechanics that get abandoned pretty much very quickly afterwards. But there's still some weak points. This game can be pretty frustrating to play sometimes. Not as the same way as Inter Electro, but some levels could be a little difficult to play the first time. Because there's a very steep learning curve, I believe. Especially when you gotta do harder stuff later on. And not to mention, yeah, on superhero mode, there really is a difficulty curve because it starts out hard for the most part, gets slightly easier, gets hard, easier. Yeah, you get the idea. It's not the most perfectly balanced difficulty-wise. In fact, I feel superhero mode is just tacked on. They could have easily just play hero mode and that's it, but no, this is all there is. And, well, the voice acting, aside from, yeah, it's pretty bad when you know your lead character is not doing a very good job. But it only gets worse in later games. Oh, trust me. But Spider-Man, I'll miss you, I guess. You'll never be as good as the original. Definitely not. But that's it for Spider-Man the movie game. Better than Inter Electro, I'd say. I mean, better humor, better level design, better everything. Yeah, you can tell I'm not really good at getting my thoughts in order for this. But oh well, that's it. That'll be it for Spider-Man games. I'm not playing any more after this, so for the next game, I believe I'm going to do Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus. So look forward to that if you care about that. But if I ever were to return to Spider-Man, it's going to be Spider-Man 2 for the PSP. If you ever do the research, you'll know why. Anyway, that's it from me. NotYourusualZero, signing off.